Well, congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Can you talk just a little bit about how it all came together and the process and the timing and just, how all the pieces meshed, so to speak?
It was really a big product of fan support. We're a Lionsgate television show on NBC for 2 seasons. And when NBC decided to move on because of a bit of a regime change, the fans were really passionate about keeping this story going somehow. And then Roku was amazing enough to see its potential and even tie in a bit of a Christmas holiday element to it. And Austin Winsberg, our creator, showrunner, writer, decided to pick up the pen and write a movie in like 2 weeks. And within 2 weeks from that, we were on set. It was really like a bit of a whirlwind for all of us. We went from filming the season 2 to being canceled for the moment and then filming a movie on our set. It was like insane.
And what's really impressive is everybody's back. What was it like? Obviously, it was super quick, but what was the emotional roller coaster like for everything to happen and kind of just really you went through the life of a television show within like a week in terms of cancellations, bringing it back, going to a movie, doing everything.
It was a lot of feelings. It was highs and lows for sure. At times, it could even feel like a breakup. But for me, all I was left with was true gratitude that we were able to return and come back and play this character again and tell this story. And for me personally, I love working with this cast, most particularly Jane. Just to be able to play opposite her again was a joy. And season 2 left us on quite the cliffhanger, so I was glad to at least like see it out a little bit.
I've spoken to Jane before, and she's explained how quick everything went from the choreography to learning the songs, and it's just fast paced. Was the same thing existing here as well?
Oh yeah, it's a factory. I mean, the thing is though that like returning for this movie was kind of old hat in that we know how the engine works. Like we created it, so in a way it was easier or just more familiar than when the season 1, when we were figuring out how we were even going to get any of this done. It's like we've accomplished some incredible feats on this show, so we knew that this movie was in our capability for sure.
One of the great things I like about this movie is it's set in Christmas, but there's a limited number of Christmas songs. It's not just an entire Christmas catalog coming at you. What's it like for you guys, I guess, hearing for the first time or discovering for the first time what songs are going to be included within the storyline and then which ones you get to actually sing? What's that process like?
Well, this one, yeah, we did get to use more holiday a theme, which is not, it's pretty unusual for us. Generally, I like to say that we don't pick the songs pick us. And that's because since the songs are being done in a literal sense, like the lyrics have to actually match what's going on. There's only a certain amount of songs that can be dedicated to that emotion or that feeling or that plot point. I mean, even saying the name of someone, like, there are songs like Sweet Melissa or things like that, that kind of, well, then that's off the table because there was no one named Melissa, you know what I mean? And so that's generally how the songs get selected on this show. And for me, opening up the script and seeing kind of all the different comedic attitudes I get to play and the dramatic stuff I get to do is just equally as exciting as which songs I get to sing and dance to.
Did you feel like going from, a standard cable type show to a streaming platform, did that open the doors, any for creativity or accessibility?
I know for one, well, there's actually many answers to that question. And one being just the plain simple fact that we're not completely tied to having an episode being 44 minutes with, a certain amount of commercials. And so sometimes a lot of really special moments need to be trimmed or even cut in some cases. And that's always heartbreaking. And no one wants to do that or be a part of that. So we had a little bit of liberty, just like, wiggling a couple seconds here and there. From an editing perspective for reach of the show, I'm so excited about the Roku channel because we have all 25 of our episodes available for free to stream anywhere on your Roku device, or if you just go to the rokuchannel.com, it's free television.
There are several moments where during the film where there were really long takes.
Well, throughout the entire series, we've had a lot of what we oneers, or shots that are these long one takes. I mean, in the season one finale, we did American Pie in one take, which is a 7-minute song. So that's a 7-minute shot with no cuts. And there was time passage. There were different entrances and exits. There are wardrobe changes that we're doing. So it really feels like theater. It feels like a live performance in many ways. And that is what I think separates our show from other musical shows, is that feeling of being in the room with Zoe. Like what would actually happen if her boyfriend or her best friend or her mother broke out into song in that kitchen or in that office space. And that's something that we've always wanted to capture. And I think doing these long oneers really can stir that up. And I think that the only time where we don't do that is if it just affects the storytelling in a negative way.
Season 3, there's been some like, will they, won't they? Is this possibly a lead into? Were you guys on set looking at this as a wrap-up film, or is this kind of seeing where interest in engaging a potential future for the show is?
I think it's both. I think it's both. For me, it was. I mean, to keep myself sane and my expectations kind of managed, I was just really, grateful for the ability to play this character again, and to put on the pants that have been fitted to my body again, and be with this special group of people and collaborators. So I won't say we're on borrowed time, but I definitely feel like, it's a very rare thing for a cast and a show to be able to do this. So I'm grateful for whatever we've been given. However, if there was a future beyond this, more seasons, more movies, even, they know exactly where to find us.
It's a film about Christmas featuring music. What's your take on when can you start listening to Christmas music?
I think it's moving earlier and earlier each year. It used to be after Thanksgiving. Now it's, I mean, decorations or music wise, it's now the second after Halloween, you're buying a tree. So whatever suits you. Hey, in these unprecedented times, whatever gets you through the day or the season, I say go for it.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Well, hey, I appreciate it so much. Thanks and good luck to you. And hopefully we'll see some more of it.
I'd love that. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.